Pat Oaklander to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the April 10th, 2014 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commission meeting. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chairman of the commission and represent District 3 alongside Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2, and Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
First item, please.
First item is item 1, proclamations, presentations. Number 1, recognition of Eric Tolbert and Susan Sims, volunteers for the Community Emergency Resource Team, and Robert Schmidt, volunteer for the Medical Reserve Corps. Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management, and Jennifer Zeller, Health Agency.
Wow.
You can come on up front here, yeah.
Okay. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing us the time to talk about our volunteers a little bit. These guys have put in a lot of good work over the past year. So, just real briefly, whether they're trained or spontaneous, volunteers are the mainstay of emergency management. And we are so pleased to be able to share the accomplishments and ask you and joining us in applauding the accomplishments of two of our most dedicated Shawnee County emergency response team members, Eric Tolbert and Susan Sims. Come on around. Quit hiding. Eric Tolbert serves as the operations chief for our Topeka CERT branch. Eric became a CERT instructor for the basic preparedness and CERT organizational blocks for the Shawnee County CERT Academy classes. He's assisted in multiple exercises and is the lead in numerous volunteer community outreach activities, including weather radio sales, weather radio programming, Severe Weather Expo, and the National Weather Service Storm Spotter Talks. Eric, along with other CERT members, were activated just a few weeks ago, directly assisting the first responders as the fire watch during the grass fires up in Silver Lake. During that activation, he also led a team conducting initial disaster assessments. Eric has been a volunteer in Shawnee County, Topeka community as a Topeka Police Volunteers and Police Service, otherwise known as VIPS, since 2008. He has countless volunteer hours between VIPS and CERT. Eric hosts the monthly Topeka CERT meetings and performs community CERT awareness talks in the faith-based communities and as a Boy Scout, and he is also an Eagle Scout himself. Eric is also a Citizens Academy ambassador and on that board, and a board member since 2009. He's currently the vice president and is as well holding the seats of president and treasurer, the Citizens Academy ambassadors in past years. Eric can always be seen with a smile on his face, ready to assist while wearing Shawnee County CERT, as bright as it is, or in his VIPS uniform during virtually any community event. He is truly a leader in both volunteer organizations and an asset to our community. Thank you. And Susan Sims is a member of the Barreton CERT. She's also a founding member of the Shawnee County CERT Communications Group, as she's an amateur radio instructor through the Kaw Valley Amateur Radio Club and a member of the Kansas Adjutant General's Amateur Radio Club. She volunteers for numerous community events, outreach projects, including parades, weather radio sales, severe weather awareness expos, and the National Weather Service Storm Spotter Talks. Susan is the team lead for the Shawnee County Accountability and the Northeast Regional Kansas Resource Accountability Team, where she has participated in accountability operations supporting different agencies within the state. With another member of the Shawnee County CERT, Susan serves as administrative and operations assistant in our Shawnee County Emergency Operations Center. She also represents Shawnee County CERT at the Kansas Preparedness and Human Services and Disaster Summit that was held in Wichita last year. It's amazing when you consider that she also finds time to be active in other volunteer programs as well. Susan is an amateur radio extra class licensee, which is a pretty substantial certification on its own. And she did it in pretty short time, pretty quickly. And it made her the Kaw Valley Amateur Radio Club instructor for technician, general, and the extra license classes, and the club officer. She also volunteers for the Red Cross. She's a Red Cross Disaster Action Team and a Red Cross Shelter Inspection Team. So, well done, Susan. These two individuals have dedicated hundreds of hours of their personal time making our residents and communities more resilient, as well as assisting responders in actual events, training, and by supporting community events locally, regionally, as well as statewide. Their passion for volunteerism and their dedication in assisting Shawnee County Emergency Management, Shawnee County residents, and first responders at all levels is a credit to them and the Shawnee County Community Emergency Response Team. Congratulations to you two on a job well done. With what you have accomplished in your volunteer time and out of your own hearts and pocketbooks, we noticed that. So please know you have a direct impact in making our programs, operations, and emergency response in Shawnee County and the Northeast region, as well as the state, more effective. Thank you for cutting the path and leading the way.
Commissioners. On behalf of all county residents who have been impacted by his dedication, the Shawnee County Health Agency would like to recognize Robert Schmidt for his more than 10 years of service to the health agency's volunteer program, the Medical Reserve Corps. Since joining the MRC, Robert has been a vital and active member. He has assisted with health fairs, preparedness campaigns, immunization clinics, first aid support at area events, and even the not-so-fun task of archiving medical records. This past fall, Robert went above and beyond his normal duties by assisting the health agency's Affordable Care Act and health insurance marketplace activities by becoming a certified application counselor. He has been willing to come in at a moment's notice and often stayed later than a scheduled shift, all with a great attitude and his infectious smile. Over the past 12 months, Robert has volunteered well over 200 hours, saving the health agency and our county well over $4,000 in staff time. Help me applaud Robert for his time and commitment to the MRC program and our community.
Thank you all. Next item.
Actually, I might.
Commissioner?
Thank you so much. Your efforts make us stronger here in Shawnee County, and we greatly, greatly appreciate your time. We have great volunteers in Shawnee County. We saw it here this morning. We saw it the other evening with the corrections volunteer dinner, and so thank you very much. Thanks for being here this morning.
Next item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Questions or comments?
I have none. I'd move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Mr. Chairman, this morning we have vouchers that total $618,628.28. 62% of those are made up with the Horizon Health Care payment. That's the health insurance for the jail, the Kansas Director of Vehicles holding account, and the Meditrack health insurance. I will move for approval of those expenditures.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller to approve the correction orders, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Public Works, number 1, consider approval to award bids to Ham, Inc. and Bettis Asphalt for the purchase of hot mix asphalt in an estimated amount of $100,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Blank with Public Works. We took bids for our bulk asphalt purchases for this year. Those are basically, we purchase asphalt on an as-needed basis for repairs of roadways. We received 4 bids. Lowest bid was from Bettis Asphalt for $49.75 per ton, and the second low bid was from Ham Incorporated for $50 a ton. We recommend that we accept both Bettis and Ham's bids, because oftentimes throughout the construction season, one of the asphalt companies may have their own projects going on where they are unavailable to provide our type of asphalt. And secondly, The two locations where they would produce the asphalt are in separate parts of the county, and when we're looking at such a small difference in price, the cost of transportation can more than outweigh the quarter in savings. So we would recommend that, that we accept both bids and then authorize the Public Works Department to purchase the asphalt from the vendor or the supplier that would best fit our needs and be most cost effective for the county. The funding for this would come from a combination of Public Works road maintenance funds, a special bridge fund, special highway fund, and or Monmouth or Grove Township's roadway funds if they need any asphalt. So if there's any questions regarding this, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Questions or comments?
I have no questions. I'd move for approval as requested with the bid awarded to Advetis Asphalt and Ham Incorporated.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook to approve the request, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B2, consider approval of change order number 1 to contract C29-2013, reflecting an increased amount of $115,383.69 for additions or deletions to planned work on the Southeast 45th Street, Southeast Adams to Southeast California Avenue project.
Commissioner Tom Block again with Public Works. As stated, we are in the process of doing a sales tax program, our project from Topeka Boulevard, on Southeast 45th Street from Topeka Boulevard to California Street. Last year we completed the first phase, which went from Topeka to Adams. This year we are completing the work from Adams to California. Initially, when this project was designed, the intersection of 45th and Adams is a concrete intersection, and it was, at that time, it was in pretty decent shape. However, over this last winter, there's been a decent amount of deterioration in the concrete joints at the intersection of 45th and Adams. We are recommending that we go ahead and add that to the contract so that we can repair those joints. If we feel that if we let it deteriorate and don't fix it now, that we could in the future be looking at, if we end up having to replace all that payment, upwards of $1 million. We would like to add that work along with some other items of additions and subtractions to the contract, some regarding our detour route, and another was an elimination of a segmental block retaining wall that we were able to reduce from the contract. The total for this change order, as mentioned, is $115,000, $383.69. So if there's any questions regarding this, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Questions or comments? I'll make a motion to approve the change order as presented.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
Your call.
I'll let her stand.
Okay, I'm confused. Motion made to approve the change order by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Tom. Next item, please.
Item C, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-153-2014, with the Topeka Golden Giants, Topeka Senators Organization to conduct collegiate age summer baseball competitions at the Jerry Robertson Baseball Field at the Bettis Family Sports Complex with compensation to the county of $3,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. For several years, Shawnee County has contracted with the Topeka Golden Giants. They've kind of merged their operations with the Topeka Senators to, I think for financial reasons. So the two groups will be playing, they've scheduled 41 dates at the complex. This gives them a place to play. They play teams from all over. There is a little bit of controversy, and one of the teams in their leagues is the Rossville Rattlers. So every once in a while, we're not quite sure who to root for.
Who won that championship last year?
Good question.
I'm sorry, that's not on the agenda. With that being said, though, yes, the Rossville Rattlers did win last year, but to bring to your attention, 127 years ago today, the Topeka Golden Giants beat the St. Louis Browns in an exhibition game. The St. Louis Browns later became the Boston Red Sox, and we have issued a challenge to them. because the next day the St. Louis Browns beat the Golden Giants, so we have a 1-1 tie. So we've issued a challenge to the Boston Red Sox to come to Topeka and play against the Golden Giants, and we have not heard back from them. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Questions or comments?
I don't have any. I would move for approval of the contract.
I'll second, but I will offer a comment. I mean, this is baseball. You get to come to a Bettis complex, and then you also have the games out in Rossville at a much older stadium, but that stadium received a $5,000 grant from the Royals organization to redo their infield and make some improvements, and so we have just a wide range from southeast to northwest for baseball. So.
And really, there's a lot of players that go through that league, and even our
Exactly.
teams that go on to much higher levels to
Mhm.
play, similar to what goes on at the hockey. So you may be catching a rising star, seeing when they were young.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item C2, consider approval to award bid to Cutting It Close Lawn Service of Carbondale for mowing services at a cost of $1,275 per week for approximately 28 weeks.
Commissioners, there are several parcels that Parks and Recreation is responsible for maintaining. We looked at our entire inventory of parks and looked at the location of several of these parks and the size of those parks. Several of those we thought might make better financial sense to bid those out to contract companies that are already performing similar type services in those neighborhoods, mostly on the south and west sides of town. We also included the health agency, and I think both departments are real happy with the bids that came in. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Other questions from Mr. Knight?
I do.
Yep.
John, do you anticipate this expanding and looking at contracting out more mowing as we progress? Is this just a start?
No, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. During the master planning process, we are looking at our entire system. What is the best, most economical way to maintain all of our parks? I would not be surprised. In fact, I kind of anticipate some kind of a recommendation for some kind of expanded services, not just mowing at some of these other parcels, and maybe some others will be included as well.
And is that when you calculate in the cost of equipment, the cost of manpower, that it becomes more economical for us to hire those out than maintain them ourselves?
Absolutely.
I'd move approval of the contract with Cutting It Close.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, John. Next
Thank you,
item,
Commissioner.
please.
Item D, Commission number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2014-27, decision settling the wage impasse with the Teamsters Local 696.
Sure. Or John.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you is the resolution to settle the Teamsters wage impasse for 2014. And all it does is do wages for 2014. Nothing else is included. There were no other changes besides section 16.1 in any of the agreements. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. There's significant data associated with that to explain the decision of the Commissioners.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second, but I do have a comment. And I made these comments before we did the FOP contract, but I think everybody was encouraged by some increases, although they were modest in 2013. The Commission did do some increases, correct?
That is correct, in 2013.
Right. In 2014, which we're in, I know we're discouraged or disappointed that is not going to happen. I am hopeful that we can do something for 2015, and I know we're beginning those budget discussions, and we'll definitely keep all the comments that I have heard and emails and phone calls and comments here at the Commission. I'll keep those under consideration as we go into 2015. So.
Commissioner, if
Yes.
I may.
Commissioner Cook.
I am going to dissent on this, as I did with the FOP. my position is that we should be looking at, while both sides had agreed that there would be nothing for 2014, again, with this labor union, they were looking at the possibility of engaging in a multi-year contract negotiations. That would give them some level of decreased anxiety, knowing what the future holds. It would allow us for better budgeting practices. Additionally, I think that when we look at the Teamsters, as opposed to maybe some of the other collective bargaining units, the cost of the turnover and losing those good personnel, it's not a matter of just being able to fill the positions. We can advertise and fill the positions, but with that constant turnover, how much inefficiencies do we have currently within the county system? And for those reasons, I am dissenting.
To follow-up question,
Yes,
though.
Commissioner.
We have a multi-year contract with
Teamsters.
the
Yes,
Teamsters.
that is correct. The contracts actually run 2013, 14, and 15. We're
That's
in
a
the
wage
middle-
reopener.
Wage reopener for 14 and 15, so we'll be right back doing this in the order for 2015. But it is a multi-year agreement, it's just had wages open for 14 and 15.
Did you change your mind?
No.
Okay,
Sorry.
just checking.
Thanks for asking.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve the resolution, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no.
No.
Motion carries 2-1. Commissioner Cook dissenting. Next item, please. Thank you, John.
Actually, one more.
Sure.
I'll bring to light, John mentioned this, but Jim Crowell did a lot of background work on this, and on page 6, he does mention that, and this is presenting the commission, over the past 10 years, actually, let me see here. All county and Teamsters employees receive wage increases each year except 2011 and 2012 over the past 10 budget years. So anyway, just wanted to bring
Okay.
that to your attention.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Next item, please.
Item D2, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Kathy Kilmartin regarding her resignation from the Ambulance Advisory Board.
That's not something we need to vote on the next
Mm.
3 items, is it? Okay, so considered it acknowledged. Next item, please.
Item D3, consider reappointment of Nels Anderson to the Ambulance Advisory Board for a 3-year term beginning June 11th, 2014.
Okay, consider it considered. Next item, please.
And item D4, consider appointment of Lieutenant Joe Perry to the Community Corrections Advisory Board.
Actually, we need to back up. I believe we do need to vote for the Ambulance Advisory Board because
We
it's
do.
not, it's all 3 of us together, not just one commissioner's recommendation. Yeah.
That needs to be voted on, too. I stand corrected then.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question.
Shape up, Jim. All right, reread item 2, and let's have a vote on it, please.
Leaving item 3.
No, I think,
3.
I'm sorry,
Three.
yes,
Yes.
3.
Consider reappointment of Nels Anderson to the Ambulance Advisory Board for a 3-year term beginning June 11th, 2014.
Move
Motion.
approval.
Motion to reappoint Nels Anderson to the Ambulance Advisory Board.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item D4, consider appointment of Lieutenant Joe Perry to the Community Corrections Advisory Board.
I'll make a motion to approve that appointment.
And Commissioner, I would note Lieutenant Joe Perry is here with us today.
Oh.
He's- And he had contacted the commission regarding if there was a potential opening. I don't know if we want to recognize him or.
We sure do. I looked at Lieutenant Perry's resume this morning, and he is a lieutenant with the Topeka Police Department, and is truly making a difference in our community, and I want to personally thank you for that, Lieutenant. Thank you for your service.
I also thank you for your service, but he is also a participant in the Leadership Greater Topeka class. And so Mayor Wolgast and I did some presentations, and we always hand out, these are boards that you might want to apply for. He didn't waste any time, and thank goodness we had a board that we could fill them on. So
Good.
thank you
Good.
for your time.
Did I hear a second?
Second, if not
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries 3-0. And again, thank you for your service to our community. Next item, please.
Item 5, administrative communications.
Are there administrative communications?
Commissioners, Tom Block with Public Works once again. This is just the final reminder that this week, the Solid Waste Department will be having its household hazardous waste mobile collection event on Saturday, April 12th, from 9 a.m. to noon. And again, it's at Pauline Central Primary School, which is located at 6625 Southwest Westview Road. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Morning, Commissioners. Allison Alejos, Health Agency.
Good morning.
I just wanted to announce, you all are aware of this, but wanted to announce to the public that we're going to be having our first Board of Health meeting on Monday, April 21st. This meeting will occur immediately after the Board of County Commission meeting. Our intent through the meetings is to have a more public focus on public health, the work that we do in the community, and we are very excited about that. There will be lots of speakers here talking about the county health rankings as well as the work that we're doing through Heartland Healthy Neighborhood and improving the health of the community. So just wanted to make that announcement.
Commissioner.
And for those who don't know, who is the Board of Health?
The Board of Health is the county commissioners by statute. And you all have fulfilled that
Just to
function,
make sure.
just we haven't formalized it and done it in a public format, so we're excited about that opportunity.
Okay. Thank you, Allison. Are there other? Randy.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. No, it's late notice, but this afternoon in Rossville at the Rossville Community Center, the children of Rossville are doing their production of Charlotte's Web. If you remember when we went out for bid for Helen Hawker, one of our goals was to expand programs throughout Shawnee County, and Topeka Civic Theater has done that, and they've been practicing this play for a while. It starts at 3:45 today at right after school, so at the Rossville Community Center. So
Good.
You're all welcome to attend.
That's exciting. Thank you, Randy.
Good.
Are there other administrative communications? Next item, please.
Item 6, executive sessions.
Is there a need today? Then we are adjourned. Thank you.
We do not have a meeting Monday.
Oh, we do not have a meeting Monday. I thank you for reminding me. We will be at the elections office.
Yep.
Thank you again. Yes, sir. Okay, sure.
I rise this morning as we celebrate the legacy and times.
Would you identify yourself, sir?
Well, you have a piece of paper, but I think everybody knows me and very active in this community. Sonny Scroggins, for the record.
Thank you.
I provided copies of just some notes that I take, and it's really for you, sir. You know, I read in the paper with considerable interest your comments on affordable health care. And I just wondered why we are beating a dead horse for something that's providing a lot of good things for a lot of people that otherwise wouldn't have health care. And I'm not going to read it. I've provided copies to members of the public and to the commission themselves. And there were some questions specifically to you, sir. And the thing that sticks out in my mind, is it racism or not as it relates to the affordable health care, especially in light of the country's celebrating the life and times of President Johnson? To you, sir, to that point.
Well, I don't know you. I've never met you.
Sonny Scroggins, and I've never met you.
I've never met you.
Okay, well, let's don't argue about it. That's just a legitimate question.
Well, sir, I've never met you. You don't know me.
That's not the question.
You do not know me.
Okay, I don't.
And I think it's the height of arrogance
I'm not
for
arrogant.
someone
I'm as humble as I can and as respectable as I can. I even wrote it.
You
on
asked
there.
me a question, sir.
Okay, well, let's not get into personalities. This I provided to you. Just answer the question as best you can, sir.
My answer is that I think it's the height of arrogance for someone that does not know someone else to to tell vicious lies about them.
Why?
So, thank you,
I
sir.
have not told a lie. I have not, that's the reason I put it in writing, so we couldn't go too far off of that. It's in writing. If you could just please answer the question, is it racism or not? And I might add that his mother is white, from Kansas. My question again to you, sir, is it racism or not? For something that would be so good for everybody. Again, to that point, sir. And I must apologize. I'm not trying to look cool. I have glaucoma. Is the reason I wear these glasses. A lot of people say, well, he's just trying to look cool. And then again, too, I was involved in the renaming of East Lawn to Juan Poppy Abbott, me and the late Butch Felker. I mean, some of that time could be spent trying to save Juan Poppy Abbott Center and making it free. Now you're the one getting the attitude. I'm not. I'm happy. I'm loving life loving me.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
Thank you.
Are there any other administrative comments now that we reopen? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I shake hands?
Of course.
Shake hands.
Why don't you come talk to me sometime?
I will.
All right, thank you.
Can I shake your hand?
Yes. See you, Senator.
We already said.